What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on iRacing for another week of Production Car Challenge PCC in the Renault Clio, and we are here today at Okayama full. Should be a lot of fun, should be exciting. Good to be back after taking last week off of the track I did not own in Interlagos. Yeah, we're going to see how this goes. It's been pretty popular. I am racing at a stupid time in the morning because unfortunately I decided it was a good idea after that travesty you saw on Tuesday that was Ringmeister. I was frustrated, so I took a nap and woke up like, I don't know, 45 minutes ago in the middle of the night, literally just starving. Um, got one die. Well, yeah, people are just wild. Anyways, so yeah, I was just starving, so I ate food, and of course you can't go right back to sleep after you eat a bunch of food. So I said, what better to do than PCC? So we're here. We're gonna see how it goes. Of course, this track we're gonna be outclassed massively by pretty much all the GR86s. They're 2+ seconds faster than we are. And then I think a lot of the Mazdas will be faster as well. The GR86 here with some of these long, sweeping, fast corners, and then obviously all the hairpins towards the tail end of the lap just muller us, just not even a competition. So we're gonna have to keep an eye out for that because they are going to come through probably just about all of them. But we do have another Clio with us. I think it's the 18 car, Zachary. So good luck to them. This did split, so we have two splits here at whatever ridiculous o'clock it is right now, 12:30 a.m. Lovely. Not my best lap. My best lap, I think, in practice was 44.4, but it makes near enough no difference. That would have been like 1 or 2 spots higher, maybe three, but either way, it makes no difference. So, anyways, we'll hopefully have a good race. Zachary, obviously, if someone reaches out, we'll see how it goes. So, seems like a nice guy, though, if he's going to wish me luck, which is usually my thing to do, wish other people luck. So, 6 BMWs in here, 2 Clios, and then a bunch of GR86s and Mazdas. So, we'll see how it goes. 25 minutes. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure you grab your drinks, grab your snacks, drop that like, sub down below if you are new. So thankful for each and every one of you. It's been great. We've been having a lot of good videos lately. I've been having a lot of fun, Ringmeister aside. So we'll see how this goes. Should be good. Um, I gotta type here before I think. So yeah, again, I'm very tired right now. My brain is not screwed on correctly, but hopefully it's still good and fun and enjoyable. Again, been a lot of good racing lately, so if you didn't check out the Ringmeister video from Tuesday, go watch that. If you haven't seen the K5 race from Michigan yesterday, make sure you go watch that. Probably my worst big oval, honestly. And then tomorrow we're going to have WRL Xfinity Series at Lime Rock. And then Monday, because I got this race in early in the middle of the night, literally, we'll have Monday be next week. Monday, the special announcement I've kind of been teasing and waiting on. Just it's a filler video, but it's relevant to the time period. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so I appreciate y'all. We got a pretty short pace lap here. We're
Hey,
already
good
at the
luck.
first
See you
hairpin.
later,
So
Dad.
yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm Ray. I feel excited, and hopefully this is good stuff. So appreciate you all.
Stay safe,
And
please.
let's get through these first couple of corners, first couple laps, and have some fun. So get ready to go.
We got two Cleos here.
I don't even count as a full Clio. I'm so damn tired, man.
Uh-oh. We just lost second place in the Toyota.
How much gap are they going to leave us? Peter's very, very experienced, very accomplished, so he's going to leave us some good gap, which is awesome. I'd like to leave a little bit of gap to these BMWs, just because, again, even though there are only 6 of them, it's not too bad. Again, this did split, but I don't know how many BMWs were here, if these are all safe, relatively fast guys, or if we got some scary ones. So only 2 single digits on the front row, and then the rest are double. Not that that means anything, makes no difference, but just notable. So I'm probably going to drive really badly. I cannot stay enough. Today was a rough day. That Ringmeister was just kind of the icing on a bad day. So don't feel great, but again, we're up, we're here, and I can't immediately go back to bed after I ate some food. So get our Ringmeister in for the week. I'm ready to go, and let's get to it. Leader is gone. We will just wait for them to accelerate a little bit and not hopefully spin out. Let's go. BMWs up ahead. We'll give them plenty of berth. Just let Zach go. Don't want to be involved in any of this garbage here. Don't know what these guys are doing, but it's fine. Still got plenty of gaps, 6 seconds behind, so make sure we nice and smooth. Try to get off of this section well. He ran a little bit wide there, so we'll just cut back. It's a good exit bite. That'll do. Oh man, I might fall asleep during a 25-minute race. Thankfully this track is long enough we're only going to have maybe 13, 14 laps somewhere in there. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, we are 10 iRatings short of 4,700 for what that's worth. Doesn't really mean anything, but just think of the things to talk about and throw numbers out there. So yeah, I kind of hope we don't take it off of Zachary because he seems like a nice guy, but hopefully we can get a little bit, obviously, by winning. So BMW starting to do their thing and spread out up ahead. Again, they'll be faster. The 86s will come eat us up. Again, if they're 2 seconds a lap faster, they'll be here in 2 laps. So that guy's off track. He's struggling a little bit. Thought that the BMW split, but maybe not, because this guy said he was 1,000 iRating. I can't believe that there's 6 BMWs below 1,000 iRating, but maybe there are. But no matter. Survived lap 1 for the most part here. Oh, that was pretty poor. Slid the fronts big time, had the weight on it. We're good, we lived. Car behind went off a little bit, but he's still okay. Again, I'm being very patient with these BMWs. Just no reason to rush. A little bit worried, not scared, but worried, so.
Did you murder someone?
No rush. Peter does get by Zachary there, so the 86s will probably be here end of this lap, honestly, if I keep having to check up for guy ahead. Again, we won't even fight any of the GRs today. No point. They're significantly faster around this track, so. Oh, that guy's going to go for a big old spin. Almost got Peter there. That was scary. Really bad spot to spin out there for the BMW, but he's having his struggles and his issues, so at the very least that gave us some free track now that we have some space ahead of us. A couple seconds.
How I didn't die.
But yeah, anyways, so I think this split at 27 and 26, 53 maybe, so
that fucking BMW, man.
people are already mad. Welcome to PCC. Of course, a little history lesson. If you do watch Formula One or you're old, you probably recognize this as the IATA circuit that F1 visited in 94 and 95. Michael Schumacher won both, I believe, on the way to his first 2 world championships.
I was holding my line, you told me to me.
Gotta keep a half an eye on the mirror here for Peter. No point in holding him up. He did give me a light flash. I guess he thought I was holding him up intentionally or breaking the toe. Yeah, you bet. I know you guys are flying, and I didn't want to hold you up any. I know you're fighting guys, so sorry if I held you up to that one long corner. So we'll just let them all go.
Nah, all good. Thank you.
Peter's too fast. He needs to slow up.
Chad's had some interesting run-ins with Tyler before at Portland. He was driving the BMW in the race that he spun out between the last 2 corners. He had a little bit of a minor incident with Tyler there. We've of course raced Tyler for a lot of years in PCC and other things, of course. So yeah, this is fun. I really enjoy this car track combo. Again, not the best track for the Clio, but I've loved Okayama for a long time. It was one of my favorite Solstice tracks. Not better than Summit, but a good track nonetheless. I did enjoy it. Mostly because, well, yes, you get some big toes, especially down this straightaway here, but even down the front stretch. Definitely not a draft track with all the twisty bits, so that obviously suited me compared to like a Daytona or something. So Zachary's hanging back in there about 8 seconds. Is that right? 8 seconds? I'm trying to read that. So he's still hanging on, so we still got to be smart and be smooth and get through this thing, but we've gotten some space now at the beginning, which is great. So yeah, it seems like Peter is about 2 seconds faster than us per lap. Some of these other guys maybe a second and a half or so. So if they can get going and get some clean track, they will come past us. And again, I'm not going to fight, no reason to. So I'm probably using all the wrong gears. I can't wait for Carl and Ian to tell me that these are second gear hairpins at 3,500 RPM, whatever. But honestly, the less thinking I have to do about shifting mid-corner and such, like, the better at this point. So still undecided 3rd versus 4th here in this final corner. Same with turn 1. I think you can get away with 4th gear. I also think you can get away with 4th gear in turn 1, but again, does it really probably matter in this circumstance? Not really, but just notable. Yeah, the last corner definitely feels more 4th than the first corner, but honestly, I think they're both 4th gear corners, so whatever, we're just out for a cruise. Like I said, I was at pretty comfortable 44.4 without too much issue in practice. That last one was a 44.5, which was a decent lap, not perfect, but a good lap. I'm sure that, again, Pico and some of the other Clio experts like Ian are probably a good couple tenths faster than that, so it looks like they're having some battles back there.
Sorry.
Ruben, Tyler, Pedro, all those guys, so I don't want to impact them at all. They're in a nice little group of 3 here, and then they have some serious gap behind them, so we will definitely jump out of that whole group's way whenever they get near us. Thought they'd be here by now, honestly, but whatever. So yeah, this is a nice Thursday video. Glad to get in after the week off. I think next week is Charlotte. I don't remember where is after Charlotte, honestly. Somewhere else that I planned on driving, but I don't recall off the top of my head, I think. Or maybe Charlotte's week 11. No, we're in week 10 already, so it is Charlotte next week, and then something else is week 12, but I don't remember that either, so. Second seems to work fine through here. I'm just stupid. I really am driving without brain right now. Like, it's not good, so. I know y'all are going to yell at me and say, hey, dumbass, you're in the wrong gear in 9 to 10 corners or whatever the hell, but I really both don't care and can't be bothered and don't have the brain power to think right now, so. No matter, again, if we get 10 ironing out of this, great. I don't want to take it from Zachary. He seems like a nice dude. Was chill pre-race, so. Would love to race with him some more. Obviously, he's keeping it on the track, which is more than some Clios we've raced the last couple weeks, so. Yeah, I'd love to get to spend some more time with him. Maybe give him some tips and pointers and get to race with him more. Always good to see the Clio community grow and people improve. That's always the name of the game, especially for an unpopular car like this. Ask me how I know, cough, cough, Ford GT2. So, these 86s are just about caught up to us now. Not sure exactly when they'll get on top of us, but obviously we punch a big hole in the air with how tall this car is, so they tow really, really well behind us, but not vice versa necessarily, even though we do have a significant straightaway speed advantage on them. So, again, just all things to keep in mind here. They just eat us up with center corner speed and braking ability. They just kill us, so. Let them all go do their thing, continue their battle, cycle back in. It's the courteous thing to do, and again, it's only going to cost me time to fight them anyways, because we make lap time in such different ways. I've talked before, if you're fighting a Mazda, yeah, they corner better and brake better, and they're not quite as fast as us on the straights, but they're much more similar in how they make lap time compared to a GR86. It's kind of the perfect middle ground. Like, it's almost exactly the middle ground between how a GR86 and how a Clio makes lap time. So you can fight a Mazda much more effectively without being a threat of them just getting pissed and killing you. Versus GR86, they make lap time in such a different, more aggressive way that it's really not advantageous to fight them at all, because you're only going to lose so much time by trying to fight a car that is inevitably going to brake later, turn better, all those usual things than you do. So, and obviously you almost never fight directly head to head with the Mazdas because they start so far backs. So that's all part of it. And again, there's enough straightaway here that we stay away enough from people that aren't super fast, so it's all part of the deal with PCC. I miss driving all these cars in the rain. I loved when we drove the Mazda in the rain at K5 Drying Track. I drove the 86 in the rain. No, I drove the Mazda in the rain here. I drove the 86 in the rain at Navara Short for a K5 special event a while back. Both those cars are great in the rain. This car is great in the rain also. It's just different, just the way it handles. Slick tires are not an option in any wetness in this car. That tells me I assume that they are true slick tires, not grooved.
I'm just overdriving like a damn idiot right now.
But yeah, I like driving this car in the rain. It is quite enjoyable. It is quite fun. It's just a different beast, so.
I'm trying so hard to run 40 speeds to try to figure out how.
Zachary's still within 20 seconds, so he's still hanging. That's good. Oh, we got dead people everywhere. Missed that. Okay, that's cool. I was not really paying attention. I just saw smoke and dust and cars spinning, but I thought they'd gotten it sorted. Okay, we're alive. Mini heart attack. It's fine. Everything's great. Nothing to see here. Yikes. Too late for that shit. That's like a jump scare, man. Can't be doing that shit at 1 a.m. So anyway, Zachary's still hanging back in there within 20 seconds, so he's doing a good job, honestly. I mean, again, he talked about being in a different league. Well, I've raced Clios in my time, as you all know, that at this point, you know, halfway through the race or more, we've lapped them. So, and they've got, you know, 20 incident points, so he's doing a good job. Especially if he's new to the car or new to the series or whatever, so if that's the case, welcome. Obviously, we always like to have more people in PCC. Oh, there's a dead one.
No, Pedro.
Never turn down more people in PCC, as you know. There's always a home for everybody. You just gotta deal with some of the chaos that comes with being D-class and free cars, and you know, it's all part of it. But it's well worth it, I promise. So we were actually just talking about that. Today is Monday on recording. We were talking about this in the PCC Discord earlier, where what PCC started as in the In-Racing News Challenge. Started as the Spec Racer Ford and the Solstice. This was back in, you know, the early days of iRacing, and that kind of turned into the Advanced Rookie Series that was the Solstice and the Spec Racer Ford. And then that kind of, at one point there, merged with Grand Touring Cup. Grand Touring Cup was the Jetta and the Mustang, and the Solstice, that was at D-Class. And so for a number of seasons, it felt like a long time, but it was probably only like a couple of years at most, that you know, advanced rookie PCC with the Solstice and the Mazda with like 15-minute races. I don't remember. They kind of ran side by side with GTC, and GTC had really low population, especially since the Mustang and the Jetta at the time were paid cars, and obviously the that's actually funny, Owen. And the Solstice was the only free car in that. Obviously, this is when the Solstice was kind of becoming my car. This was maybe, I don't know, 2016, 2017, somewhere in that range. But anyways, I drove a lot of GTC back in the day, and then when they merged that, this was the first time I got involved with being part of the community leadership for PCC, when they kind of merged those two series and made it from Advanced Rookie, made PCC D-Class, did away with Grand Touring Cup, added in the Mustang and the Jetta, obviously. That was kind of the genesis of what this became, and it's kind of been unchanged for that whole time. So it's probably been 6, maybe 7 years, somewhere in that range of PCC having 4 classes and being D-Class with 25-minute races. We've had some different formats. I talked about previously the first time that I was on the committee, we were allowed to do more stuff with different fuel and whatnot, and race lengths. Obviously back then we didn't have any rain or anything of the sort, so that was not a factor, but we did have some different enduro length races. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and get people past us. But we did have 40-minute races and 60-minute races, which were actually my idea. The 60-minute races were actually 2 pit stop races based on the fuel load that we limited the cars to, which was awesome fun. It was crazy. But anyways, it was crazy fun. It was crazy chaotic. That was actually one of the last seasons of the enduro length races, was 2020 season 4, when I won the overall Solstice Championship. But anyways, there's been a lot of different versions of PCC since then, and then of course obviously we replaced the Solstice with the GR86 when that was released. That must have been 2022, 2023, somewhere in there. Long time ago now. It's been probably 3 years, which doesn't seem like it, but yeah, I can check my main JK profile, because the last race I did on JK was the last Solstice race. I figured that was an appropriate way to send that account off from official business. And so that must have been, 3 years ago, or maybe even 4 years ago. And then, of course, the Jetta was replaced by the Clio, and the Mustang then was replaced by the BMW, first the legacy BMW GT4, which I think was in for 2 seasons, and then now the BMW M2, which I think this is, what, the 3rd or 4th season. So yeah, that's all pretty standard, pretty normal stuff. Now, the only car that stayed constant was the ND Miata MX-5 Cup car. So that's gone through, of course, a couple different iterations with sequential shifting and stuff like that, different kind of body and gearing and everything else. But again, of course, back in the original PCC days when I drove, it was the NC Miata, both in the same class, which was wild when it was Advanced Rookie with the Solstice, because the NC Miata came in, those of you that have been iRacing a long time know this, came in 2 variables. It came in the Roadster and like the Cup car, I guess is, I don't know what the difference was or whatever, but anyways, the Roadster was right-hand drive and had a much longer, taller gear stack than the Cup car. So at a place like the Legacy Charlotte Roval that had that long, straightaway after leaving the infield in NASCAR 1 and 2 all the way back to turn 1 of the road course, or Daytona, for example, like those tracks, the Roadster cleaned up because it was so much faster once it got up and went, that like they were in the same class. And so you had what you have now in like GT3 classes or prototypes, for example, where people will just bounce back and forth between whichever car is the fastest that week. The top guys in PCC were doing that, 12, 13 years ago with the NC Miata. So that was always crazy. I had a soft spot for that Roadster. It was a lot of fun. I think now they've both kind of been semi-converted into hard top spec Miata type. I don't think there's an official build or BOP or anything between the two of them, but those were the good old days. Those were the days I remember in my early days of PCC and my early days of iRacing really as a whole. But I was not around for the, I guess, kind of original version of that series, what became PCC, which was the In Racing News Challenge with the SRF and the Solstice. So a little bit of a backstory and history lesson for the PCC buffs, of which there are none probably besides me. But yeah, just interesting how it all came together and how we got to this grouping here today. I don't think any of these cars are going anywhere anytime soon. The only exception I think might be is if they get a Mustang Dark Horse GT4. I could see that replacing the M2, because the problem with BMW especially is they have so many cars in the sim and they change them so often that the BMW M2 we already have in here is already obviously obsolete for like a year or two now with the facelifted ugly BMW M2. I think this one looks significantly better. but that doesn't mean anything. So it'll stay around for a little while, but if they ever scan something else or something new or an updated version, I could see that, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they just replaced it straight up with a different car again in 2, 3, 4 years once the BMW M2 we have in the sim is kind of 5 years out of production, that type of thing. Obviously the GR86 is still going, the MX-5 is still going, and the Clios are still going, of course, but there's rumor in the next generation MX-5 and GR86 that they'll kind of be on the same platform. That's rumored to be in the next 2, 3, 4 years. But even if that's the case, again, if that changes anything here, it's been pretty traditional for iRacing to keep the Mazda Cup car, which is historically their most popular car. They've kept that pretty well up to date. I remember when the NC was replaced by the ND, like the very first season they had like the rookie Mazda championship, whatever, where you got some kind of scholarship, whatever. Glenn McGee won it, drove a red car, semi-sponsored by iRacing after that, and he still races in like Mazda Cup and other stuff to this day. So I think he was a race car driver anyways, but he won like one of the very first, I remember, iRacing Mazda Cup scholarship championship school, track day driving school, whatever it was. So it's cool that they've always kept up and kept a good relationship with Mazda. I do wish that we would have gotten some DPIs on that kind of topic. I wish we would have had the Mazda DPI, what was it, Team Yost that drove that car? The Ali Jarvis and some of those guys. Like, those were always cool cars. And again, I'm a big fan of the Cadillac DPI from, 2017 to 2020, 2021, whatever that was. That was a cool car. Always a big fan of the American cars there, but I'm trying to think of what other DPIs. There was an Acura DPI, is that right? Or Honda, one of the two, same thing basically. And there was another one, some other DPIs. There was no Porsche at that time. I gotta be missing some, but I do kind of hate that they can't just scan everything. Like, that is the one downside to laser scanning and licensing and all that. They can't get everything, which kind of sucks, but I get it, so. Anyways, there's your nice 10-minute history lesson on a variety of things. But anyways, so we got Owen behind us here, the BMW that wrecked a couple laps ago. He'll probably just catch us down the back straight this time as I overdrive turn 1 massively. It's all good, though. That's one of the most annoying hotkeys I've ever seen, the be safe I didn't get insurance thing, mostly because it doesn't even make sense. But we are almost certainly going to get the white flag this next time by here, which would be awesome. Tony is not too far behind Owen here, so we may just jump out of the way of all of them. We'll see. Just chilling. We'll do a Zachary check here down the straightaway as well. See how he's doing. Leah's not too far behind here. Zachary's on pit road. I wonder if he's out of fuel or was in a crash there, because there are a couple cars on pit road, but either way. I assume we're going to get the white flag here this time, but maybe not. We'll see. Play it by ear. Again.
Get off the racing line, asshole.
Okay. Rigo's not having a fun day as the overall leader, it seems like. We won't hold up Tony, but I don't think he's in too much of a hurry here. Good looking paint scheme there, though. DeWalt, that's pretty cool. Obviously, as a Kenseth fan, that color scheme immediately brings back 800 million memories, so. Definitely going to be a white flag here because he is like 20 seconds behind us and we're going to be nowhere near the line by then. So we'll just give these cars ahead some space since they're all kicking up a lot of dust. Alright, white flag. Credit One Bank, sponsor me please so I can buy a race car and get back out on track. What happened, Zachary? He may not even have voice, I have no idea. Worth a shot, we'll go watch it anyways, see what happened to him. Cruise around this last lap. Unfortunate that he had that incident there. He was doing really well as far as staying out of trouble, getting some good laps in, so. We'll take this. Again, I think we got 2 more weeks of this left. I think I own both the last 2 tracks. I can't for the life of me think of where they are, but that's alright. Maybe VIR or something. I really don't know, to be honest with you, so. Whatever. Down the backstretch, final time. Again, hope you all enjoyed your drinks and snacks. Hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday today. Appreciate you all so very much. If you made it to this point, make sure you drop that like, sub down below if you are new. Lots of great racing content coming up. I got a lot of cool things planned for both before and after I am out of the country. So next couple of weeks will be a lot of good racing, and then there will be about a 5, 6, 7 day period probably where I don't have anything, unfortunately. And then after that, we will have back to regularly scheduled programming with probably a couple days of like week 13 stuff. I'll have the PCC schedule vote up since I'm missing like the first 5 days of that after I'm gone out of the country. So going to be busy, but I'll get caught up and get going for week 1 action. So
Sorry about earlier. I completely missed my break point there.
all right, final corner, just cruising through here. Not an enthralling performance by any means, but we did it. We made it. Nothing crazy, nothing stupid. I don't know what Tony's doing there. Maybe tanking ironing, perhaps. Is he trying to get out of the split? He's gonna see finish 6th. Don't drive off track, dumbass. I don't know what's going on with any of these dudes, but I assume that Peter won GR86. That looks to be the case up there. Mark all the way up to P3. That's a good drive for him. So that was fun. That was a pretty good race, actually, all things considered. I enjoyed that. It was fun. There's an 86 stopped over there. Our time has expired. All right. All right, let's see what happened to Zachary at the end there, because, yeah, he was doing really well. I don't know what happened. Yeah, 3:38, something happened on this 13th lap. I don't even know how many laps he ran, honestly, but whatever. So he's cruising. We don't need to watch the whole thing. Ran a little bit wide, but that's okay. Letting guys go. What was that? Who is this? Jail Menard. Ah, I see. So this car crashes up here, this Mazda. This car, David, gets sideways, cracks into the fence. And Zachary, I assume, doesn't brake, but lifts for this to give that guy more space. You see there, his speed is not increasing like it would normally. And I don't know, this is probably net code, but the guy behind here, Yale, whatever, apologies. They just come together. They're both kind of moving around the slow car, and unfortunately that dumps Zachary in the fence, and obviously that car is very broken, left rear completely destroyed. Very unfortunate. We've seen before how sensitive the rear wheels of these cars are, so he comes to pit road. He may or may not know that there's a fast repair. I don't think he already used it. No, because it just went right there, so he's got tires and fuel he must be getting at this point, but was right at the end of the race anyways, so let's go watch lap number 8 for me. I want to see that guy on the back stretch. That's just like wrecked out of nowhere. I didn't even see him at all, so I don't know what happened. It was that Owen guy in the BMW, so he's up ahead, wrecked on the middle of the straightaway. I don't really know how he did that, but then he pulls right across the racetrack. That's always lovely. Oh, and he almost gets frickin' destroyed. Who was that? Nope, this is the wrong way, dumbass. Pedro, God, he spun himself out later, but goodness gracious. So how did this guy crash on the straightaway? I must have missed something here. No. All right, so he's leaving the corner, has some good momentum. Everything's great. It's literally a straightaway. Drops the wheel, not paying attention, corrects in the wall. Ends up in the middle of the track. He's holding stationary, which is good. It's what you're supposed to do. He's backing off the track. It's good. It's what you're supposed to do. But for the love of God, you cannot just pull right back across the racetrack like that. I don't care if your car is perfectly fine or not. They might have even made net cone contact right there, but you just can't do that. It's so dangerous. It's so scary. Obviously, we don't know then at that point whether you're going to continue to move or not, but whatever. So check out the results. 11 iRatings, so we did take more than 10. Sorry, Zachary, I apologize, but 47.01 is the new mark. Again, doesn't mean anything for what it's worth. 4,800 for Peter there. Anybody else have 0x? Ruben had 0x there. Only 1x for Mark. A lot of x for Tyler. 12. 1x for Toby. And a lot of instance back behind back there. Levi got disqualified. Not surprised there. He was kind of all over the place early. So hope Zach's not too upset about the 11 rating. Takes him back below 1,400, but he does gain 0.04 SR. So he's up in C class. I would like to race him again. He was a nice guy. Drove pretty well. Stayed alive for most of it before some of the shenanigans and chaos. But 1x for Rigo at the front, and that's week number 10. Let's check out the schedule, actually, since I spent the whole time wondering about it. I think Roval's next. Yep, Roval and then Watkins. How could I forget? So definitely we'll run one of those last 2 weeks, but we're already approaching the end of week 10. So if you didn't watch K5 yesterday, go back, check that one out. Go back and check out the Ford GT2 race from Ringmeister on Tuesday. The crazy lap one, absolutely insane lap one that was IMSA from Monday. And then tomorrow we will have WRL Xfinity at Lime Rock. So appreciate you all so very much. Make sure you drop that like, sub down below. Don't want you to miss anything else coming up. I am so thankful for each and every one of you, and we will be on to what is next. So thanks for dealing with sleepy Justin, and that's going to be it from me. I'm going back to bed. Till next time, as always, bye-bye.